Hey everyone, and welcome to another Game Explained discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Ted from Brain Scratch Comms, the Great Clement, and Johnny of Some Call Me Johnny, to talk about the reveal of Sonic 2017. So let's jump right in. And boy, I think we were all talking about this before we started recording, but basically we're not sure exactly what to say about this reveal. Just general first impressions for me. He said it was not a sequel, but damn, does this look like Generations 2?
Yeah, a lot of people are nitpicking me on Twitter, like, exactly right now. And saying, no, it's not Generations 2, because Iizuka said it wasn't a sequel, but Sonic 06 is Sonic Adventure 3. It doesn't say Adventure 3 on the title, but in terms of how it's structured, it's Sonic Adventure 3. In the same sort of way, as far as we can tell, this is going to be Sonic Generations 2. So
it is modern Sonic once again teaming up with classic Sonic in some form or fashion. The last game they did that was Generations. It's Generations 2. True, we haven't got a name for it, but right now it's Generations 2. And as far as I'm aware, it's always going to be Generations 2.
It's weird. But it's weird because, like, from the trailer, I almost got the impression that, like, he's probably going to be having more help from others, not just classic Sonic, because one of the taglines at the very end of the trailer is, "Join the Resistance." Mm-hmm. And even just before classic Sonic showed up, it said, "Sometimes a hero needs a help." And it's like, classic Sonic showed up, but, like, maybe he's going to be having help from other people as well to form a resistance group to fight the apocalypse that Eggman has caused?
It honestly, that was really where my not knowing what I was thinking, I guess, kind of started, was that in this time a hero needs a help, or whatever they said. Like, I was thinking, oh, are they finally going to have other characters back in 3D gameplay? Because we have not had... It's actually kind of funny to think that there was a time when people said that Sonic had too many characters, because ever since Sonic 06, the only character we've had in a 3D space is Sonic. So I was thinking, oh, are they finally going to bring back Tails or Knuckles or whatever? And that personally would have gotten me very excited, because honestly, that's the thing I think I take the most from the Adventures games, is Sonic has a great cast of awesome characters, and I want them back in a major form. So when I saw Sonic... Classic Sonic, I should say, pop up, I thought, oh, Generations again, which makes it seem like, oh, this is probably going to be a good game, because Generations is a good game. But it's also... I don't know what to think. Oh, God.
You notice how they emphasized that, like, this came from the team that made Colors and Generations and not Lost World.
Yeah, no, I definitely noticed that myself. I was like, yeah, they're definitely pushing that angle. Like, so I think we can know what kind of gameplay to expect, especially since the trailer almost spells it out for you during that section where Sonic's running and he's dodging all the debris by, sliding under and dashing forward and jumping around and whatnot. And it's very clearly at a 2D perspective. Like, we are getting the dash gameplay back. I am almost positive of that.
I don't know what they'd replace it with if they didn't bring it back, to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
I'm okay with the return of the boost formula. As I said it in Generations, I think that it still has a load of potential. The only thing that I really wish the boost formula had was solid 3D controls when you weren't boosting, which Generations did better than Unleashed in some regard, but it still wasn't Adventure and Adventure 2 perfect for me, because again, I will still go on and on about Adventure 1 and 2 having perfect 3D controls. And to me, the boost formula always felt they sacrificed that bit just for the sake of going fast. I don't mind the boost formula because, I think Generations is a great game, but I'm hoping they take the time to really emphasize the 3D nature of this game as Sonic Mania emphasized the 2D nature of the game. Which I know it sounds a little weird when you have another game where modern and classic Sonic join up, and they're probably going to put more 2D emphasis on classic Sonic, which I guess would be really redundant in this case.
Well, you say redundant. That always felt redundant to me well, personally, this is a nitpick I have with a lot of games. I'm not really a big fan of when games like do both 2D and 3D. Like, those 2D sections in Super Mario Galaxy bothered me. They bothered me in Unleashed, and well, Colors was basically a 2D game, so I guess the 3D segments in that game bothered me. In Sonic Generations particularly, the 2D sections with Modern Sonic felt particularly redundant because we had an entire character dedicated to 2D gameplay. So, personally, I think I would think that if they were going to do this split again, where they have a classic character who would presumably be in 2D, I would like it if they kept the 3D focused on doing interesting things with 3D space. Especially considering that we're getting another 2D game that's supposed to play like the classics in the spring with Sonic Mania as well. It's just, I don't think that people will overload on classics Sonic, but it's just, it feels like they're ignoring so many other potential, many other.
The thing is, I don't think they're ignoring it at all, because I'm really latching on to Clement's idea of a resistance. What if we do have multiple characters and they play like certain bits from Sonic's history, what if there's lots of 2D types? What if there are lots of 3D types that all do different things? You know, what if you get Amy and she plays like Sonic did in Adventure?
Eventually, essentially an adventure without being an adventure game.
Yeah, that's basically what I've said I've wanted from a 3D Sonic game for years now, is something where they have one unified game style, or I guess two unified game styles in this case, but multiple playable characters. So basically a 3D Sonic Advance or Sonic 3 Knuckles. That's what I've wanted for a long time, so if they do go that route, that'd be cool. But at the same time, I also feel like having multiple playable characters would be something that they would focus on a trailer like this, and I don't know. The fact that they're not there, I mean, the trailer didn't really show much of anything, so I guess them not being there doesn't mean that they're not there at all, but call it a hunch, but I have a feeling that it's just going to be Sonic and Sonic again.
That's what really kicks this discussion in the ass, really, because it's not so much discussion, it's more speculation, because that trailer doesn't show anything. You know, these are the kind of trailers that we detest in E3. It's all CGI, no gameplay, and we have nothing to go with, and we have nothing to talk about, and we can only go off what we know from previous experiences. When was the last time Modern and Classic joined up? Generations. So we assume it's like Generations again, but I don't know. I need more. I need more, damn it.
I mean, my imagination's going all over the place every time I think about it right now, because it's like, first off, it starts off with like this really dark edge to like, when times are at their darkest. Like, that's the tagline that's flashing on screen. And it looks like Soliana from Sonic 06. It looks like Soliana's on fire and it's being ravaged by all these robots, and Sonic's looking angry, like, oh man, this is really serious. Like, we're not in the Green Hill Zone anymore, you know? We're in the... Eggman has conquered the world, or is trying to conquer the world, and he's...
Is this the secret to Sonic Chronicles that we've been waiting for this whole time?
See, now,
I did think of that myself.
No, as soon as I saw Sonic join the Resistance, my first thought was Sonic Underground.
oh God!
Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter are saying that, like, what if this is a connection to the Sonic Sat AM cartoon? What if this is a connection to the Freedom Fighters and Princess Sally and Antoine and all those characters?
Oh, it's not going to happen.
Honestly, I don't really want it to happen, because I know I'm in the minority here, but I've never really found myself super attached to any of those characters, so I know I'm gonna get lynched out of the comments section again for saying
like three people.
You gonna say something, Johnny?
No, it's like, yeah, you're gonna get lynched by like 3 people. You'll be fine, Ted.
Yeah.
It definitely feels a lot more bleak, and it feels like the story's gonna be a lot more important, I guess, which is interesting.
It did raise a red flag, honestly. It's about the only thing that raised any sort of flag in this trailer was the tone of this trailer. I mean, because I take a look at the character animation and the design of Sonic. It's right out of... it's the same model as Unleashed and Colors and Generations, so there's still a jovial, cartoonish vibe that style of Sonic gives off. Yeah. So I wasn't immediately thinking 06 and Shadow, but damn, was I really close about it, because hold on, we're in a post-apocalyptic world. Everything's on fire. This is I am everyone, everywhere, everything.
Hell is a joke. Those are actual lines of a song in a Sonic game. Oh god. Yeah.
Even the Eggman robots, they just look so... Like, it's supposed to be like the Death Egg robot, but like with a different head.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
totally
gigantic, and they're shooting lasers everywhere, and they're killing everyone.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who thought that, because...
Oh, no, they totally are. Look at the arms.
Well, no, they're not exactly the Death Egg robot, but like when you first see the foot stamped down, I thought, oh, they're going to bring back the Death Egg robot, and it's a more kind of generic-looking robot, like a more mass-produced robot, I guess I should say. And yeah, it's. I
Holy
don't think
crap.
that.
Sonic.
What?
Days of Future Past.
We're resetting the timeline. That's there you
That
go.
makes
Sonic, you
a
can't release
scary
Rise of
amount
Lyric.
of sense.
But oh god, does that mean that they're gonna like reboot every game since like Sonic 1 now or something? Like, oof.
Mania is the prequel to 2017, and like it ends with Eggman winning in the world of destruction.
I mean, I don't think that we're gonna end up with something 06 or Shadow level in tone, because like, especially if you look at classic Sonic, he's really cheery and he's got like this big goofy smile on his face when he first pops in. So, you know, I do expect them to have levity in cutscenes and whatnot, but I do enjoy there being real stakes, because that's something that I did kind of miss from newer Sonic stories, in that like I enjoyed the writing was funny, but it didn't feel like what I was doing mattered as much. And I know that that's like a nitpick, but like I know that like when you look at it from face value, like Eggman's plan in Sonic Colors is one of his like most evil plans, but considering the tone in that game, I didn't really feel like it was really much of a threat at all, I guess, if that makes sense. So I think if they can manage having stakes, not necessarily dark, but a tone, but having stakes to the story and keeping things light, I think that it could be a good time in the narrative department.
Well,
because I mean,
they still kind of pulled that idea off with Sonic Unleashed, because the game opens with the world being split apart, and yet there's still a very light tone throughout the entire thing. Like, yeah, the world's split apart, but we're all fine. It's all good. So I can definitely see them being able to balance some darker themes with some levity here, because you know that's the thing. How do you raise the stakes from Eggman splitting apart the world? Well, actually conquering it for one would kind of do that. So I'm intrigued. I think that's the thing that this trailer accomplished the most with me, is I'm very intrigued with where this can go.
I guess that's one way to put it.
So you have no interest in this whatsoever? Like you're
I'm interested. It's just I don't.
There's nothing to go off.
I always have. Even if I'm not great at expressing myself, a lot of the times I always have a very like firm gut feeling about things. Like when I first saw Sonic Mania, for instance, I was just like, "Oh, this is not what I wanted," and I've kind of turned on that a little bit. But I knew exactly what I was feeling when I saw that. I see this and. I'm just very confused, and it's unusual for me, because I feel like I have to keep on talking, because otherwise it gets quiet, and that's awkward.
We don't have to. The rest of us can talk, Ted.
Okay, I see how it is.
Shut up, Ted. Johnny.
What does the Canadian one think?
Yes.
I guess I'm just kind of waiting for gameplay details. I'm really interested in what Join the Resistance means, because without any context, I don't even know what that means. Like...
That's a Terminator line.
I know. It implies like it's a war, it's a battle. There's a freedom fighting scale to this game, that I have to join a resistance group to stop Dr. Eggman. I assume Dr. Eggman and not some bad guy who's taken over Eggman's robots or anything, but...
Neocortex.
Oh my god, greatest crossover ever. But
Hey, Eggman Nega always... I always took as more of a ruthless dictator than regular Dr. Eggman. Do you think maybe that's doubtful? I'm yanking out of my butt here.
If it were like a handheld game, I'd go for that. But considering that this is supposed to be like the big, well, that's not necessarily true, because Sonic 06 took random plot points from all over the place. So that, I don't know.
I mean, Eggman Nega is a character who travels dimensions and time, so depending on his backstory. So.
And that would get us Silver back if they want to try Silver again in the gameplay department.
Then again, Dr. Eggman Nega also used a camera to try to kill people, so I don't know how seriously we can take him as a villain.
He tried to turn the world into a card.
Who thinks Sonic is ridiculous? These plots make perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, just personally, I don't know if I'd like the more edgy storyline going on. I don't even know if it's going to be edgy in the final product. It certainly raises an alarm, but I think the thing that kind of makes me feel good is that it's probably going to play good, if only because they've had so much time to reflect on the feedback, and they made a point of emphasizing, hey, this is the guys who made Colors and Generations, so it's probably going to play like those. So it should be a fun game.
I don't have any doubt about that. It's gonna, again, much like how I feel about Sonic Mania, the game's probably going to control and play and have fun, play just fine and have fun levels. It's just everything else. I don't know how to feel about, I guess, at this point. And I mean, I guess playing fine and having fun levels is the important thing, but it's just, we don't know what anything is gonna be like.
It's just pure skepticism. We have nothing to work off of. We need gameplay. We need some sort of idea of how this game is going to work. Otherwise, all we can do is speculate, and it's really only so much we can go with that.
Yeah.
Having seen the trailer now, I'm honestly not surprised that they decided to hold off of E3 releasing this, because had this had been released at E3, it would have gotten buried by literally everything else. I think this year's E3 wasn't really one of the most spectacular, and even then I feel like here's a CG trailer for the new Sonic game, it would have gotten buried in the discussion of God of War and Zelda and all of that other stuff. So I'm not surprised that they delayed the announcement.
Well, let's talk concrete details then, because we have two interesting bits of information at the very end there. One, it is coming out holiday 2017, so a full year and some change away. And two, it is coming to the NX. So, yeah. What do you guys feel about that? That we still have a year out before this game even comes out.
I mean, it's already coming out for a console I own, the PS4, so I'm definitely going to be getting it no matter what. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'll have an NX by the end of 2017, but yeah, it sounds good. You know, I don't know what kind of gimmicky stuff Nintendo is going to give the NX that might make it different from the other versions, if anything. But it's good that it's going to be on every single platform, so everyone's going to be able to play it.
Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time in a very long time that they announced a Sonic game that still wasn't going to be released in about a year and a half time.
Yeah, the first...
Because every time, usually... which was the case in Colors and Generations, we got a teaser or announcement video just about 6-7 months before the game actually came out. This is a whole year and a half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention that there hasn't been a Sonic game. Correct me. Lost World was developed by a slightly different team than the people who made Generations and Colors, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So these people have not made a 3D Sonic game since in 5 years, and they've obviously been working on this for a long time, because we've had word that they've been working on a Sonic game since Boom was in development. So 3 or 4 years in development is a long time for a Sonic game, considering that the developments go as fast as the Blue Hedgehog, and they need to get a new game out every year. So the fact that they're actually taking their time with this is helpful to me, because
who put Miyamoto in charge? Christ.
It's ready when it's ready.
Yeah, I'm just glad that for once we're not getting a game that's rushed. So yeah, that makes me glad. As for the NX, it gives me hope that at the very least there's an option that the thing has a normal controller, because I doubt that they're going to pull like a Unleashed kind of thing where they'll make their own version for a game with slightly different hardware or a weird controller. So I have a feeling, this is just a feeling, but I think it's going to be pretty much the same game on the NX, which means it'll probably have a mostly normal controller in some way, shape, or form.
I really wish I knew the design specs of the NX.
Yeah,
me too.
Because I'm not sure whether or not it's going to be developed for NX and then ported to PS4. and Xbox One, or is it being designed for those and being ported to NX? Because I really would like to know what's the superior version I'm playing here, because I like to
You're
play
buying
the-
all of them anyway.
Not true. No, I was actually really. No, actually, I'm a total Sonic whore. You're right.
How many versions of Sonic 1 do you own now, John?
Thanks to a donation I got from Too Many Games, I now own the PAL version of Sonic 1, so I think that brings me up to 22.
Oh my god.
And the other
You
good
have a
thing
problem,
is that
sir.
it will be coming to PC, so like anyone who wants to mod the game, they'll be able to mod it and stuff. So
Oh yeah. Generations mods are still a thing that are like the modding community for Generations. I believe is still going pretty strong.
Oh,
so
yeah.
No, yeah.
that people will be modding this game for years.
I do. I didn't. I have to rewatch the trailer again, but I think I did notice that there was a lack of a handheld version of this game coming out, because I think they would have announced that on the same time. And I'm hopeful about that, because I never really liked, starting with Colors, there was always a handheld equivalent to a console Sonic game, and I always felt that's development and budget you could be spending on the main game that you're deriving from the main experience just to get a quick handheld tie-in for a quick buck. They don't seem to be doing that this time. That could change, granted, in the year and a half this game still has before it comes out. But it looks like they're really just putting all of their chips in a console Sonic experience, and I'm hopeful about that, especially for a 3D game.
There's a sense of confidence here that I like. I think, they didn't show much, but you could definitely feel like this is a much more confident Sega when it comes to Sonic, because I failed to mention this during the Sonic Mania discussion, but one of the things I love seeing in games is when they have this company proudly presents this, and it's such a little thing, but all of a sudden it's like, no, we fully back this thing, we fully believe in this product. And to see that with Mania, and to see maybe very little of Sonic 2017, I still feel that sense of confidence, especially since they are holding it off. They don't have that feeling that they need to rush to get this out to make to the 25th. They just want to make a good game, and that's all we really wanted. As long as they stick to that, I think we're in for something good. I don't know what it is, but I think we're in for something good.
It seems to be a better trifecta of Sonic games than what we got back in, if I remember correctly, 2008 and 2009. Because back then we also got a trifecta of Sonic games at that time: Sonic Unleashed, Sonic and the Black Knight, and Sonic Chronicles. This, at the very least, seems to be a little more solid than that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, I don't want to call it an oversaturation, because we haven't had a main series Sonic game since Lost World. I think we're overdue at this point, but it looks like they know what they're doing, and I know it's really easy to make fun of that. But
I mean, even if the story's cringeworthy, I'm gonna be there day one. And
all of us are.
We all are. We all are. I just want Sonic to be back to where he was earlier. He had something going there, damn it.
Just be good again.
It was disheartening to see him kind of fall off a cliff again after like a couple of games where he was doing really well, and then it's just like, now that's the Sonic I remember. Kind of wallowing in mediocrity and not having your games being finished on time. Like, that's the Sonic I grew up with, because, like, I played Mega Collection and Adventure 2 and what...
Man, no wonder you're not excited for Sonic Mania. It looks actually good.
Yeah, but, like, so I was introduced to Sonic with good games, and then, like, I played Heroes and Shadow and Secret Rings and all these other games, and I'm just like, oh, why do I like this blue jerk? Anyway, he doesn't even go fast.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, before we end this off, because I think we've pretty much reached our limit of talking about Sonic 2017, I just want to get you guys' quick opinions on this 25th anniversary party as a whole. Oh God. Do you think they handled...
Where do I even begin?
That's my opinion.
Okay. Clement?
What Johnny said.
The buzzing.
Just
Johnny,
lots
you gonna
of
be
buzzing, Lots of delays, lots of stream cutting in and out all the time.
It was so weird because it's just like, okay, we got the cast of Sonic Boom on stage, and then they immediately cut to like Totino's or something.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Yeah.
Okay, Sonic Team or Sega struck a deal with Totino's at some point earlier this year because Totino's had a booth in PAX East. Ted, you probably saw it.
Oh, no.
Where well, they had Totino's had a booth in PAX East set up where it was a Sonic 2 score challenge, but the kick was you were riding what was a combination of a mechanical bull and a regular couch, like a video game couch, and you had to stay on that thing for as long as you could while playing Sonic 2 and trying to get as many rings as you could. I don't know when that started, but this is, I guess, an extension of that. And I really want Totino's right now.
It's working. You're a total mark. Yeah, it's very odd, and there is you could definitely. I mean, it was obvious that they were rushing. They got that trailer out before it was supposed to end. You know, they weren't even following the thing. They were just like, cut. We need to catch up. We can't let this party last 4.5 hours or 4 hours and however long. They needed to get through it, and I mean, it was kind of disappointing to like, oh, they're going to have a cast reading. I love cast readings. Those are always a lot of fun. And immediately cut away to, well, the Tostinos. And here's the gift shop that you can't get any of these products from. And here's all these demos that you can't play. And
I love how they tried to show Sonic Fire and Ice like 4 times and never actually showed anything interesting from Sonic Fire and Ice.
And there's like,
Sonic
here's a
Fire
new
and Ice is a
trailer.
game.
It's the same old trailer.
It's a game where you can jump Sonic runs. There's fire in this game.
I felt so bad for the Sanzaru guys, the Sanzaru Games guy.
Yeah. I'm constantly feeling bad for those guys because they're so nice and they're just they feel like they're stuck with this because they're definitely having trouble finding a way to make that game look exciting because boy does it not look exciting.
No.
But
it was the Sonic 06 of live streams.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Yes,
That's
it
the
was.
best way to put it.
Delayed, constant loading, gameplay broken up, but good
Audio
music.
spikes up the wazoo.
Yes.
God.
Yep.
Not to mention it crashed a million times.
And Crush 40 should never, ever do live audience participation ever again. Admittedly, I did crack up.
It's so sad though, because you think Sonic nerds would be all like,
all into that.
Would be, he's just like, it's like they're like do, and then he leaves a spot for people to go live and learn, but nobody says anything, and I'm like, guys, come on! I'm practically shouting my lungs out here, just listening to it on the live stream, and you're all being silent assholes. Don't do that to Johnny and June. Like they were clearly having fun, and
You paid money for this.
Yeah.
Have fun.
You couldn't even say boom. They were doing Sonic Boom, and nobody ever chipped in. It's just like, oh gosh. And then the sing along with like Escape from the City is like, really? Nobody sang along with that? You can't help but sing along with that song.
Yeah, but the performance itself was fine. Like the Crush 40 themselves, although they played Metal Harbor's theme, and that song is really empty without the trumpets. I have to say, it really needs those. Also, a lot of Chow music earlier. That was. Oh, guys, no Chow Garden confirmed.
Not yet, anyway.
There better be a Chow Garden in Sonic Resistance, or else it's ruined.
Yeah.
In a post-apocalyptic universe, only one thing can save the world.
This is Chow in Space 4.
Brought to you by Chaos Soda.
And Totino's.
Tostitos.
Yeah, Sonic doesn't eat chili dogs in this game. He eats the Totinos. Oh goodness, man! They did make me hungry. Like the fact that they had free chili dogs there. I'm like, oh dang it!
We have no food in our house, and I'm really upset that they had free food.
I know. Oh boy! But actually, real quick, we can bring up the fact that Ash was at the event itself, at the party, and he actually tweeted out a bunch of information about Mania. Basically, how a lot of the music is from Sonic 3, how the bonus rings are set up like Sonic 3, and even the elemental shields are in Mania as well. So they're taking. It really seems like they're finally taking inspiration from Sonic 3 for this title, which. Boy, am I glad to not have to worry about the dang half pipe again for bonus rooms.
Oh, yeah, it's something I really don't need to have a nostalgic callback to again.
When you say music from Sonic 3, you're just talking about like the jingles and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
the jingles is mainly it.
Okay, so they didn't like rip whole tracks straight from Sonic 3.
Not that I'm aware of. It was just like when you beat a stage or you got a one-up, those type of jingles.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. They also said no Insta-Shield as well.
Yeah, no Insta-Shield.
Which is good, because that thing sucks.
You can double jump. You can bubble bounce.
Elemental shields are lame.
Fire
Tails
dash.
can fly. Tails can fly. He's
Breathe
just better.
Water.
I always liked the shields. I thought they added a lot to Sonic 3 and made Sonic fun. I always was disappointed when I was playing Tails and I couldn't do the double bounce.
Tails can fly.
I don't care. I still want to double jump.
You don't need to double jump when you can fly.
I want to double jump into flight.
Then why would you need to jump twice when you can't?
Because Tails is slow when he flies.
Can I just end this with the title of a thread from NeoGAF? Tostino's trademark presents Sonic's 25th anniversary bee farm and vacuuming convention.
Oh, that's beautiful. Real quick, Clement, what do you think of all those elements from Sonic 3 popping up in Mania?
I'm just happy that one of the best things about Sonic 3 and Knuckles regarding the special stages was that it actually encouraged exploration. Like, with Sonic 1 and 2, it was always just get a certain amount of rings, and then either at the end or with a checkpoint, you got it. But with 3 and Knuckles, it actually encouraged you to, like, spin dash into walls, jump into places you wouldn't jump previously, and then you might accidentally find a special ring that would take you to a special stage, and that, that's a big part of Sonic, was that exploration. So I like that special stage system is coming back, because I feel like that helps make the levels feel a lot more special when you're actually looking around for these things. And it's not just one-ups that are the only reward for looking around,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really appreciate that fact, because that's always been sort of Sonic to me. It's like you can go fast, but there's stuff worth exploring for. And I feel like a lot of people forget that fact.
There are still special rings in Sonic 3 and Knuckles I keep discovering to this day.
And again, Sonic, it's not Sonic 3, but Sonic 1 Starlight Zone. I just discovered that breakable wall at the beginning of Act 1 that gives you 3 ring boxes and an invincibility monitor. I had no idea that was there. And I've played the game for over 20 years.
On 22
copies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right, damn it.
I gotta check and see if it's on all the copies.
I'm just surprised you haven't just looked up all of the level maps.
No, that's cheating. That's cheating.
That's not as fun.
Is it really considered cheating when you've beaten the game 100
times? That takes away the
times?
thrill of the exploration.
Yeah.
But then how do you know when you found it all, and then you're just going inch by inch?
That's the thrill of it.
This is how parallel universe glitches are discovered, John.
None of that half-button stuff, okay?
Oh boy. Well, guys, any final thoughts on Sonic 2017, Sonic Mania, the Sonic 25th anniversary, Sonic Hello Kitty, Sonic Lego Dimensions, Sonic.
Only at Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Apparently not. Alright.
No.
Real gameplay. That's all I really... I need that. I need real gameplay. That's all I have to say.
We'll get it in time. I'm sure by the winter we'll actually get a gameplay trailer or something to that effect. Now that the hype machine's begun, so they're going to hopefully continue to ride that for a while. We'll see. But I think that covers it for our Sonic 2017 discussion, so thank you for watching, and if you liked this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. And Clement, where can they find you at?
I have a YouTube channel where I do Let's Plays at ClementJ642. I am currently on break, but I'll be back in October.
Cool. And Ted?
I'm a member of Brain Scratch Comms. We've done most of the Sonic games that are important anyway. You can find us at Brain Scratch Comms. Yeah.
Cool. And Johnny?
As always, folks, you can find me at youtube.com/somecallmejohnny. I'm getting ready for my Overwatch review. It's been about 2.5 weeks coming. I apologize for that little wait. But immediately after that, I'm getting ready for the Star Fox Marathon. And the first video I think you guys are really going to look forward to, because I'm not only looking at the original Star Fox on the SNES, I'm also looking at the unreleased Star Fox 2 that never saw the light of day before the N64 was a thing. And I think you guys are in for a treat with that one.
Very cool. I'll have to check that out. So, yeah, of course, stay tuned to Game Explained for more Orange Sonic and other things gaming too. Until next time, guys. Bye.